Today, I am going to expose the secret tactics of emotional manipulators, how they make you doubt and question yourself, how they manipulate you, and how they get inside of your head so they can control you. Manipulative people are everywhere, and if you do not know their playbook, they can easily take advantage of you. But this video will tell you everything that you need to know, and once you understand what's happening, you will never fall for their tricks again. You will become unmanipulatable. So keep watching. DARVO is a commonly used manipulation tactic that stands for deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. This tactic is used to deflect responsibility, avoid accountability, and shift the blame onto the other person. Here's how it works. The perpetrator denies they did anything wrong, even if the evidence is clear. They may minimize what they did, twist what happened in a way that denies that the actions were harmful, or even just straight up deny that it happened at all. They then go on the offensive, attacking the victim. Often this involves false accusations, twisting the narrative, and attempting to discredit the person bringing up the issue. Finally, they reverse the roles. The manipulator paints themselves as a victim, and the real victim becomes the villain. This flips the narrative. They become the angel and you become the devil. And this is the part that really mindfucks people, because you start to second guess yourself, and it makes you feel guilty or like you're responsible for getting them upset, even though they were the one that did something wrong in the first place. So let's look at what DARVO looks like in a relationship situation. So say you're in a relationship and you have noticed that your partner has been distant and hasn't been putting in as much effort recently. So naturally, you're starting to get a bit worried and frustrated because you're not really too sure what's going on with them. So one evening, you bring it up with them and you say something like, "Hey, I feel like you have been a bit more distant recently. We don't talk very much and I don't really understand what's going on. Is there something wrong? Is everything okay?" Instead of acknowledging their distant behavior or explaining what's going on with them, your partner denies your concerns. They might say, "I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing wrong. You're just overthinking this. I haven't changed at all." They dismiss your concerns. They make you feel as if you're imagining things or creating problems that don't exist. Your perception of the situation gets invalidated right off the bat, which can leave you second guessing yourself and not knowing how to respond. If you continue to try to explain how you feel, they will then start to turn the conversation around and attack you. So then they might say, "You're always so needy and controlling. You don't give me any space to breathe. You're suffocating me. You're always demanding so much attention and acting like everything is about you." Instead of owning up to their behavior, they accuse you of being the problem. They might make you feel like your desire for communication or connection is unreasonable and you're just being overly demanding or manipulative. The focus then shifts from their emotional distance to your supposed overbearingness. Finally, they flip the situation by acting like they're the real victim. This is where they claim that you have hurt them by bringing this up, and they turn the tables to make you feel guilty for expressing your concerns. They might say, "Every time I try and do something for myself, you get upset and you turn it into a problem. You're making me feel like I can't do anything right in this relationship. You've been really emotionally exhausting and I'm done with it." And here, instead of acknowledging their distance and the harm that it's causing you, they position themselves as the one that has been hurt and drained by your demands. You're left feeling guilty for upsetting them and regret even bringing up this situation in the first place. And this starts to make you feel like you're walking on eggshells around them because you cannot express your concerns in the relationship without being attacked. In these situations, DARVO is manipulative because it uses your feelings against you, and it makes it almost impossible to express what you're going through without being made to feel like you're the bad guy. It often results in you internalizing guilt and confusion. All the while, the other person remains completely unaccountable. If you are not aware of this tactic and what's happening, you might even start apologizing to them for bringing up your concerns, while your partner completely sidesteps any real conversation about their behavior or your feelings. you're left feeling confused and guilty for things that weren't even your fault. And that is entirely the point of this tactic. It is designed to help them escape accountability for their actions. So if you have ever been gaslit, blamed, or had your reality distorted during an argument, chances are you have been on the receiving end of the DARVO tactic. The reason why DARVO is often missed as a form of abuse is because it's not as overt as physical threats, blackmail, violence, or other more obvious signs of coercive behavior. DARVO is a more subtle form of psychological manipulation and is quite commonly used even amongst people that you wouldn't necessarily think of as being abusive, manipulative, or bad people. The primary aim of DARVO is to shut down a conversation that the person does not want to have and to avoid accountability for something they don't want to address. It is a way that they can subtly control the other person into submission and keep them quiet without using overt fear and intimidation. So how to handle DARVO when it's being used against you? Well, first, don't take the bait. Don't get triggered or start apologizing. The first step in defending yourself against DARVO is recognize the pattern when it's starting. Once you can see it for what it is, you can start to resist it, and you're also prepared for how they're going to react. When they reverse attack or deny, you need to present the situation to them again calmly. Stay calm, factual, and to the point, and back it up with any evidence that you have. Do not try to start convincing them of what happened, otherwise you might get drawn into a long cyclical argument. You need to then move on to the next step. You call them out and you set a firm boundary. You say something like, "You're deflecting because you're attempting to avoid this conversation. I see what you're doing and it won't work. When you're ready to address this, we can talk, but I'm not going to take the blame for something that is not mine." Finally, if they keep employing this tactic and they refuse to change their behavior, you may really need to reassess your relationship with this person. If somebody is repeatedly using DARVO, avoiding accountability, and twisting your pain into an attack, then that is not a safe environment, even if they say that they love you. You need to seriously start to reevaluate if you want to continue being around this person and how it's affecting your mental health. And I would always recommend to leave a toxic situation. So I hope this video helped you to understand how to deal with an emotional manipulator. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to like and subscribe to join the Relove family. Let me know in the comments if you have ever experienced the DARVO tactic before, or if you have any other questions about it. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you in my next video.